Hey, what's up, everybody? Pat here, great for recovering alcoholic addict, just like every day. Guys, please don't forget to subscribe, leave the video a like, drop me a comment, and by all means, share it with anybody you think might get something out of it. Other than that, how was everybody today, guys? Really good day, really productive day today. Still fairly early. I'm going to do my video now, and we get some snow coming in. I suspect it's already starting, so around 6 o'clock tonight, I had to go salt a bunch of properties. Not something I'm overly thrilled to do, but it's one of the responsibilities I have, and standing up to my responsibilities has provided me security like I've never known before. So it's not always, the most fun and particularly when it comes to weather. It's not always the times I get to pick and choose when I, do what I got to do, but it's always rewarding, guys. I end up feeling good. The sense of accomplishment I get from everything between whether it's going to the gym, whether it's anything we do, guys. It's about consistency, holding the responsibility if you want to have the rewards that come along with it. And these are all terms I never used before, guys. These are all completely new ideas to me. But you know what? New ideas lead to a new way of life, and that's what we're going to talk about today, guys. The reading today, new ideas. We reevaluate our old ideas so we can become acquainted with the new ideas that lead to a new way of life. Learning to live a new way of life can be difficult. Sometimes, when the going gets especially hard, we are tempted to follow the path of least resistance and live by our old ideas again, forgetting that our old ideas were killing us. To live a new way of life, we need to open our mind. We need to open our minds to new ideas. Work in the steps, attending meetings, sharing with others, trusting a sponsor. These suggestions may meet our resistance or even our rebellion. Our recovery program requires effort, but each step in the program brings us closer to becoming the kinds of people we want to be. We want to change, to grow, to become something more than we are today. To do that, we open our minds, we try on the new ideas that we found in recovery, and we learn to live a new way of life. Then the affirmation is just for today: I will open my mind to new ideas and learn to live my life in a new way. And guys, that's literally what I do every day. And I've got a sprinkling of the best parts of me that are still here with me, so I can still at least identify with myself. But guys, I literally feel like a whole new person. I am certainly living a new life, even though a lot of the actual activities that I do throughout the day, because I was always a worker, so I'm still doing the same type of work. Excuse me. It is expanded like everything else in my life today. The types of stuff that I do have expanded. I found the confidence to take on more work that typically goes hand in hand. And basically, what I do, guys, is because I do property management, maintenance, and repair. I basically, take care of the majority of stuff uh, that tenants call their landlords and complain about. And then I particularly do a lot of plumbing and heating, and that's kind of my specialty. But I do a lot of water leak damage. Anyway, I do a lot of my instead of just doing plumbing and heating, instead of just being a handyman, I sprinkle in a little bit of everything that I'm good at, and that's something that people for years would tell me. They were shocked at how many different things I'm comfortable doing, because that's one thing I've done is I've worked my ass off my entire life. I've just always done it for no benefit of my own. So finally, that's one thing I mean by you can take what the good parts of what you have. You get to keep the experience that you've learned throughout life and then apply it in a new way with new ideas, and it changes the outcome dramatically, guys. Absolutely shockingly dramatically. Yeah, I mean, I absolutely love my new life. Doesn't make it easy. I'm just getting over a cold, so yeah, I'm in recovery. I'm the best version of me. I'm spiritually connected. Doesn't mean I don't catch a cold. It doesn't mean I didn't, it didn't stop me from having to have surgery over the summer. But even that, I was able to look at as a blessing, because that gave me, knowing that I would go into the hospital and then refuse pain meds, even while being, having my first surgery, when they're telling me you absolutely have to have them, has given me a confidence to step in. And that's what it's about, guys. when you apply these new ideas in your life and you do them repeatedly, it's going to feel really foreign the first few times. But as you continue to do them, you start to gain the confidence that comes with making good decisions. You start to not, be so anxious about situations that you haven't been through before. I walk into new situations constantly today, and before I would do it, I would force myself, because that's what courage is, guys. Courage is being afraid to do something but doing it anyway, and I would do that. But my life requires a lot less. It still requires courage, but it requires a lot less courage. The mundane, just abstract things that I step into today, I have the confidence of having done so many different things in that area, right? I've applied so many new ideas and then done so with great results, that I've come to make that my baseline, and I've come to start to expect good results from actions taken, because I hold myself accountable. And before I take an action, I stop and I look at it and say, is this a good action? A prime example, guys, I was at the gym this morning, and again, I've made it a point to go to the gym very early in the morning for a number of reasons. My day gets busy, my business is picking up, I don't always have the time at the end of the day, and when I do go at the end of the day, the gym is just full of people that are just sitting on the machines, playing on their phones, and that gets annoying as hell. So rather than letting it stress me out and ruin my favorite activity, I go early where there's where there's a lot less people there. Well, this morning I get there, and new guy at the gym, never seen him before. The guy's, I'm not gonna character assassinate him, but let's just say he was dressed interestingly. And he's using one machine, and then he's getting up and putting his water bottle on that machine while going over to another machine, and then walking laps around both machines in between. And mind you, this is not an intimidating character. So my first thought was, and I was the second, that's normally my first machine, but I moved on to a second one first, and I get up and I look at his water bottle, and I'm like, this you? And I was gonna move it. And I'm like, it come over me, and I'm like, you know what? Just give the kid a break. He's probably never been here. Somebody will clearly straighten him out. And against my better judgment, because I will typically at least let people know, hey, that's not going to fly, I moved on to another machine. Well, I went through almost my entire workout, and he's still doing the same thing. And now I'm thinking, is he doing this to try and start a confrontation? And I'm looking at he's not. I think he's just ignorant. I don't think he understood. But I decided that rather than, because the thing is, I'm a lot stronger than he is today. I'm looking at the weights he's moving, and it looks like it's his first day at the gym. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and just assume he didn't know any better. And I went on and I did the rest of my workout, and then sure enough, as I was finishing the last machine, he got up and moved away from both of them. So I walked up, and he was on another machine. He moved his water bottle, and I kindly looked at him and said, oh, are you good here? And, oh, yeah. And I left it at that. And as much as I wanted to go up and tell him, listen, dude, you can't do that. Like, that's ignorant as hell. I didn't feel necessary. Either that's a job for staff, which I'm sure they'll notice if he continues to do so. Now, if I go there tomorrow, I doubt he'll be on my bench press. But anyway, if it happens again, I will let him know, sir, dude, you can't do that. And I'm not going to put up with it. I gave him grace the first time, assuming that he was just being, unintentionally ignorant, but I didn't have to make it a big deal. And instead of it renting space in my head all day, literally, guys, I went up, used my machine, I finished my workout, and I went to work, and I had an absolutely fabulous day. Like, that's a new behavior for me today, guys. I can let go. I can, before I take action, I pick and choose and say, is this worth me possibly, like, who knows? Maybe the kid was doing it to be ignorant. Maybe he's going to get mouthy with me, and then what am I going to do? Grab the kid by the throat and break his neck and throw away everything that I've been building for this year? Like, of course not. Absolutely not. So I said, well, is it worth confronting him? Do I have other things I can do? Is he really holding me up? No. If I finished that last machine, I was going to go up and use that machine regardless, whether he moved his water bottle or not. Man, I don't know. I don't know what he was thinking anyway. Didn't have to come to that. And I walked away feeling better for that. The old days, I would have walked away from that going, whoa, I look like a pussy. Oh, am I afraid? Clearly, this kid knows I'm not being a pussy. I was actually being very considerate, and I like being considerate today. I've come to understand that I get a lot more opportunities, then I do get shut down today, and it's because of my considerate nature. It's because I'm thorough. It's because I work a recovery program to the best of my ability, and I strive to be my best self at all times, even if somebody else is wrong. If I do have to correct somebody, and I'll only correct somebody if it's necessary. If it's not, and again, I'm not going to sit there and let somebody else like oppress somebody else or get over on somebody else and say, "Oh, it's not my business." No, I would have if somebody's being victimized in it, I will stand up for the victim and say, "Hey, what is your problem? What are you doing? That's not right." But there was no victim. There was literally like three of us at the gym. It wasn't that big a deal. Like I could do other things, and I got my machine, and I got it done, and I got my workout done, and I moved on, and I didn't feel like I was being a dick or a lunkhead at the gym trying to let some new guy not use my machine, and I'd never do that. I'm not like that at all. I'm very considerate of people, and I don't sit on machines on my phone. And guys, that's one thing. If you guys are going to the gym, particularly if you're new, everybody's into scrolling. I'm not a scroller, and I'm so happy that I'm not. I used to be. I used to sit there and scroll for hours, and I'm so incredibly grateful that I've given all those activities up, guys. It's just terrible for you. And don't do it when you're holding up somebody else's a machine that somebody else wants to use. Like, it's just ignorant. So anyway, guys, be your best self. Apply these new ideas, and when you do them, they're gonna feel funny at first. It's gonna be odd, and it's gonna be tough to decide. Like, I know in the beginning for me, I literally had to start just like this is when I was still medicated. I was still in rehab. I didn't have any kind of clarity. I couldn't, at that point, I literally, guys, it was shocking to me how much, as I stopped using the drugs and was getting over them, how much damage they were doing to me. Like, I started to see just how out of it that I really was. And I didn't, and again, I didn't freak out over that either. I just let it go and tried to do the best I could every day. But if I didn't have the wherewithal to decide, well, do I know if this is a good behavior or not? Is this an old behavior, new behavior? I would just do the opposite of my instinct, as long as I knew it wasn't, something crazy. I mean, if my instinct was to not jump off a bridge, I'm not going to go jump off a bridge. You know what I'm saying? But examining my motives, examining my thoughts and my actions have allowed me to change them for the better. And that's what it's all about, guys. It's beautiful when you start to understand the power you have in your own life by giving it away. Because what I mean by that is, guys, like when you don't want the best for yourself, you got to be able to start to recognize that and turn it over to God, your higher power, who wants the best for you and will put you on the right path. Guys, the reason I stress this so much is because this is something I would not believe for most of my life until I started to see it, and I actually gave it an honest shot. I found the willingness. I was given the gift of desperation, that I was finally willing to ask for help in an honest way, and I got it. Like, it's amazing today, guys. Again, I'm not trying to sell anybody a false story. Recovery is difficult. I still deal with cravings on occasions. I still deal with drug dreams. I still watch TV and I'll see a large drug bust, and my first thought is, wow, look at all. But again, I've learned to not glorify that. I immediately stop and go, oh, yeah, what would I do with that? Die? Well, what would I wouldn't go back to doing drugs if somebody dropped a 1/4 ton of drugs off in my house, and I knew I never did chase the drugs again, because they were killing me. They were making me a person that I couldn't stand. They were keeping me from living the life that I'm living today. The way my life is going today, guys, this recovery program has given my life a purpose. I will be an advocate for recovering addicts for the rest of my life, and now I have a purpose. That's one thing I never had, guys. I always had skills. I was always a hard worker, but I was always lost and aimless, and I just never had an identity. And well, my identity was attached to me the entire time. I am an addict. Now, I can either just be a recovering addict living life, or I can embrace that, and that's the thing, guys. I'm a leader. I don't say that in a cocky way, but it's just a natural fact. So I'm not going to hide my strengths anymore for fear of showing off, because I know my motives. I'm here to try and help people. So I am going to shine to the best of my ability so that I can show as many people suffering that they can shine too. Every one of us can do this, guys. This recovery program, these new ideas, this new way of life is available to every single one of us that wants it and is willing to do the work to get it. It's just that simple, guys. I would have never believed it. I'm telling you, I used to think I was cursed. I had bad karma. One of my favorite sayings used to be, "Oh, I must have kicked the baby." Like, that's fucking insane. First of all, I would have never kicked the baby on my worst day. So why would I think that the universe is punishing me for something that I would have never done? No, that was just my drug-addled, self-deprecating, self-defeating, can't get out of my own way, but refuse to look at my actions, my intentions, my lack of direction, my lack of desire, my active addiction. And that's the thing, guys. Active addiction was what was the main problem in my life, but it wasn't the only problem. It was everything else that came along with it. Now that I got into recovery, and again, it's baby steps. I got into recovery just wanting to put the drugs down and get through a day, and be able to hold down a job and keep a roof over my head. And now those are like the absolute basics that I wouldn't do without, of course. But I want so much more than that today. I want to make a difference in this world. I want to own properties. I want to make myself the happiest, healthiest, strongest, best version of myself I can. I want to save as many lives from addiction as I possibly can. I want to grow this channel as big as possible. I want to see how far I can take my business. I want to travel the world. I want to post videos from different exotic locations eventually. But again, baby steps. I won't get there today. I won't get there in 2026. Hell, for all I know, I may not even start my Harley Davidson in 2026 because I'm in no hurry anymore. I'm looking at the priorities that are in front of me, and I'm taking them one at a time because I continue to turn my will over to God. It's one thing I ask for twice a day, minimum, in prayer. God, please allow me to have knowledge of your will for me and give me the power to carry it out. And then I remove myself from the equation, at least my defects of character that I haven't addressed yet. And I'm addressing them as soon as I see them, but I know there's still plenty out there. I know that by how quickly I just almost threw myself off course as soon as a pretty girl smiled at me. I mean, guys, I still work to do. And I'm okay with that today because that means I still have improvement to be made, and I'm going to live that much better when I do. Guys, it's the holiday seasons. I'm coming up on my year. Like, I literally have been getting emotional these last couple of days because I have joy. I have community, I have family, I have love, I have resources, I have stability, I have health, I have strength. I have all these things I didn't have for so long, and it's all because I said a prayer one night back when I was really, really, really struggling, really hurting, didn't see a light at the end of the tunnel, didn't see hope. There's always hope. You can do this, guys. Please don't ever give up. Please learn these new ideas. Look at your actions. Guys, there is a new way of life that is so much better. I'm not going to say it's easy, and it's not without its problems, it's not without its challenges. But when you start doing these things day in and day out, you come to embrace challenges because you understand that as you overcome challenges, the rewards get better, your knowledge gets better, your confidence gets better, your wisdom expands. Like, all good things come through challenge. When we challenge ourselves, we improve, we expand, we get better, we get stronger, we get smarter, we get faster. You can rebuild them, right? Guys, you can rebuild your life. God will help you. Guys, thank you so much for being here with me. Always remember, God loves you. I love you. We'll see you in the next one.